everybody, Excited Utterance here. My name's Hella. It is Monday morning for me. It's Sunday afternoon for you, or it might be some other time wherever you are in the world. Happy Hearsay for Days Day. Yes, we are covering something other than Sarah Boone, although we are also going to be covering Sarah Boone. But yes, other topics other than Sarah Boone. Hooray. But of course we're going to burn it up too. Hi everybody, good to see you. Looks like, oh, what, sports ball? No, we're not covering sports ball by Fron. No. Sorry, no sports ball. Unless we're covering like cricket or Aussie rules or rugby league or something like that, which you guys wouldn't know anything about. Nothing about that. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Rachel. How are you? Good to see you. And look, there's some people here from earlier. Is that Hannibal the Conqueror? Hello, Hannibal. I don't think I know you, but maybe you were here at my 1:46 a.m. Sorry, I was getting my beauty sleep about then. But Kat Not Williams sent you here for 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you very much, Kat Not Williams, for the raid well earlier than now. And thank you those who've been just sitting around patiently waiting. It's very kind of you. Dragcio said, no, I was here first. My comment took too long to type. Actually, some people have been here for 20 hours. They came from this man's chat.
Hey.
Hey, Dali.
Hi.
Rawr. Dali, talk not fair. You're on the show. Oh, were you here too?
Yeah, I was first, supposedly.
You were first yesterday, so that also doesn't count. You just don't count in chat. Sorry, you get to be on the show.
That's
so
fair.
Yeah, it's not fair. But I did send Kat a link if she's interested. Although, like, I know she talks all day, every day, so it's pretty hard to be on other streams, I must say. One of these days, though, she'll be like, I cannot resist, and I will come on. Hello, everybody. Factual Liars here. Hello. Good to see you catching a live. And Melissa Simmock, also great to see you. And Steph, and Phil, and Christine, and it's Swoon for Boone, half Irish. Hello, love you. Oh, Maz is here. Hello, ahoy, chat, Hella and Sal. Oh, that's nice. Okay, let's keep going. Let's get into it today. We have... Where are we? Where's my little setup? Hearsay for Days, Sunday, 20th of October. We won't be doing this next week because I'll be away at a K-pop concert with my light stick.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's true. It's true. It's true.
It's not true.
I'm trying to learn the lyrics. It's not true. I'll be like, ah! Yeah, no. Promise, it's not me who is a K-pop fan.
Sure.
Really, it's really not. The ripple impacts. The ripple impacts. Hello, Loa. Now, have you heard of the ripple impacts?
Is that like the butterfly effect?
Is that a dirty thing?
No, it's like a butterfly flaps its wings and on the other side of the world a hurricane starts.
Kind of. Alright, so I gotta tell you what the ripple impact is.
Can we like turn the audio off so I don't have to pee?
Sorry.
Thank you.
I'll just press pause.
I'm really having to pee. Okay.
Yeah, okay, calm down. Alright. Does anyone know in chat what the ripple impact is? Because this was made up, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, the ripple impact, or hashtag the ripple impact, was made up by some conspiracy theorists or anti-conspiracy theorists who believe that people who think that, like Brian Koberger, for example, aren't guilty, right? So people who think that there are conspiracies that show that he's not guilty, like the whole grub truck thing, right? Like
The
that
odinous thing.
that
Oh,
that the what?
odinous thing.
Oh, the odinous, yes, right? That is also the ripple impact. So when one person starts to believe something and then they go and tell a bunch of other people that, hey, that could be really true. And then it's the ripple impact, right? And then lots of people believe it to be true. And then all of a sudden people believe that that person's not guilty, right? Whereas you'd think it'd be the other way around, right? You'd think that the ripple impact would be people believing that someone's guilty when there's not any evidence against them. Because really we're supposed to believe people are innocent, right? To start off with.
In theory.
You would think.
Yeah.
But it's all topsy-turvy. So there are people out there, and there's a lot of them, who are using this hashtag, the ripple impact. And ripple impact means that you are just really crazy because you believe all these conspiracy theories that so-and-so, like Brian Koberger especially, is innocent, because that's crazy, right? Sounds like the 100th monkey theory. I don't know what that is, but yeah, sure. Okay, so sorry about the P thing. I'm gonna have to bring it back just for a second. Oh, there we go. All right. Ripple impact. So we're getting to it, but first, that's kind of the theory of, or the background theme of this first part. So we're going to talk about Koberger first. So an expert used in O.J. Simpson's trial has been hired by BK's
jury consultant.
No. Let's just listen.
Hey everyone, so we have some new documents that have dropped in the Brian Koberger, Idaho 4 case. So on November 7th, there is going to be a hearing held where the defense is going to challenge the death penalty to try to get the death penalty taken off the table for Brian Koberger. Now, the defense does plan on using expert witness testimony that day to try to persuade the judge that, the death penalty should be taken off the table. And one of those witnesses is going to be Dr. Barbara Wolf. Barbara Wolf is a district medical examiner currently, and she is board certified in forensic pathology, anatomic pathology, as well as hematopathology. So basically, Barbara has education as well as experience in determining a cause of death for deceased individuals, as well as diagnosing diseases based on studying tissue, organs, and molecules in the body. Now, Barbara has taken the stand as an expert in many other cases. She was part of the exhumation of 5 children who were said to have died due to sudden infant death syndrome. However, after exhuming the bodies, they were able to convict the mother of those children for suffocation. Barbara was also used as an expert in O.J. Simpson's trial. The defense team for O.J. Simpson actually brought her on to take the stand to criticize the way that the medical examiner performed the autopsies on both Ron and Nicole. Now, because Dr. Barbara Wolf lives in Florida, the defense has asked that the judge allow her to appear remotely for this hearing. So this is their request, to ask the judge if it's okay for her to appear via Zoom or webcam during this hearing. The state came back with this document right here and basically said, we don't think that Barbara Wolf should be testifying at all on November 7th. However, as of today, the judge did release this document right here, basically approving Barbara Wolf's testimony and allowing her to appear for this hearing via Zoom. So I'm definitely curious to see what Barbara Wolf is going to bring to the table on November 7th. This is just a couple of weeks away. Make sure to follow. I will continue to keep you guys updated as new documents and information comes out about this case. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments, and I will talk to you guys later.
Well,
hey everyone,
that's a good question, actually. Someone just said, aren't the causes of death obvious? Well, we don't know. We've never seen anything. Everything's been under seal. So we only have heard that they all died from stabby, and that we've only heard that we supposedly, we believe, just from what we've been told, that they died from a stabby of a K-bar knife. Right? So would this medical examiner be able to talk about whether or not they died from some other kind of instrument, right? Or whether a K-bar knife aligns with the kind of cut marks that that are on the bodies of these victims. Now, I don't think that a judge would allow her to testify publicly because all of the medical reports are all under seal, right? So anything that she speaks about, she would have been privy, therefore, to those medical reports, and we can't see those. So if she goes and speaks publicly, then we're finding out a bunch of information that we're not allowed to see. So again, we have kind of a Richard Allen case where there's so much secret information that if the new Judge Hitler, is going to continue with the secretive nature of the case, we're not going to hear it. Yeah, so we'll see. But sure, he's allowed her to testify, but I doubt this is going to be an open hearing, or this part of it would be an open hearing. Let's read the comments, shall we? Dolly?
Who pays for all of these attorneys that he has on his team? He has a public defender, so all of this is paid for by government funding. I can't believe the money taxpayers have to spend on crimes such as this. Seems they get a better defense than the victims.
The victims don't need a defense.
Our system in the US is seriously flawed. Okay.
Yeah, it is actually. It is, because I think they have the wrong guy. But, and also we don't get to see any of it. So, there are some states where you get to see everything, like in the Sarah Boone trial. We get to see pretty much everything. There's not been much under seal at all, if anything. But in the Brian Koberger case and in the Richard Allen case, which we're going to look at shortly, the amount of secrecy is very worrying. So we have no clue anything to do with what was at the crime scene. We're just taking the state's word for it that there was even a knife sheath found. We've never even seen this knife sheath. We're taking the word for it that it was a knife sheath of a K-bar knife. We don't even know that. We don't know what the actual wounds were on the victims. We're taking their word for that. We've never even seen this so-called Elantra. We've only seen a blurry picture of an Elantra. So, do go
on. Why via Zoom fly her ass in and make it more important?
Okay, so someone's actually said that they should fly her in instead. So, I mean,
so you want them to spend more money?
Opinions. Yeah, why? I mean, she's just going to talk.
It's a hearing.
Yeah.
You want to pay for her hotel too, and
yeah, there's no jury there.
Yeah. If slaughtering 4 college students in their bed doesn't deserve the death penalty, what does, comrade? That is a good question to send in Koberger's DA.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's kind of silly because Koberger's DA, as in the DA in Idaho, who is prosecuting Mr. Bill Thompson, or Santa, would very much like him to have the death penalty, and there has been many motions filed against the motion to strike the death penalty, and those supposedly will be discussed at the November 7th hearing. Who knows whether or not we will be privy to that hearing. Let's see. We have a new member, Factual Lie. Welcome to the team, Factual Lie. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome. So happy to have you on board. That's so nice of you. Appreciate that so much. Alrighty, now on to the other big topic in the Koberger case that's been swimming around the social medias. Steve Gonslavis. Now, Steve Gonslavis is the father of one of the victims. That is Kaylee Gonslavis. Now, the reason people have been talking a lot about the Gonslavis family is really for their own doing. They have been on social media in terms of they've been the ones taking all the interviews. They have their own Facebook page, which is monetized. They have several GoFundMes. They're now on to their third one. This one they've now pushed up to $75,000. They have gift registries. And they've been, unfortunately, also deleting and pushing comments away that are promoting the charities or the charitable efforts of the other families of the victims. Now, people had a lot of sympathy for this family for a long time until their behavior started to become not just suspicious, but kind of mean. Now, people have then started to look into the Gonslavis family and found out some things. And this is one of them. So, Brady Backseat Bill Tamponson, who used to just be known on Twitter as Bill Tamponson. Bill Thompson is the name of the prosecutor. So you can see who this person is trying to be. Says this.
And y'all donated money to this family clown.
Yeah. And True Crime Diva, the Crime Diva says,
is that the best picture he could find for LinkedIn? He looks like he is uncomfortable holding a fart. I know the feeling. He looks like 171 equals this individual is a liar, has a bad character, and is untrustworthy. I would rather donate money to Ben Mogan, the Chapins, and the Kernodles. So what?
Okay. So just before we get to this comment, actually we'll come back to this comment. So this is Steve Gonslavis' LinkedIn. He has 500 plus connections. And
Righteous.
remember that he and his family are trying to raise now $75,000 to get 10 family members and their pets to go to Boise for the 3-month trial and spending money. And that is not the first GoFundMe. There's been over $100,000 already raised for this family. Plus they have a gift registry and they've been appearing on Nancy Grace, several other places like News Nation, etc., and promoting their funds of charitable funds. And they have a Facebook page which is monetized. Now, people are accusing them of monetizing their daughter's death. And not just that, they're also not happy with the fact that they have been kind of contemptuous in their dealings with the court. So they have not been when it comes to cooperating with the investigation. We covered this last week. They haven't really cooperated with the investigators, and there is a pool of money for victims to be compensated for attending the trial and things like that. But it seems that they're not actually able to access that because they're not cooperating with investigators. So they're very, as far as they're concerned, Brian Koberger is the man and they just want him in front of the firing squad, and that's it. So let's have a look at this LinkedIn. A versatile techie veteran with 3 decades of IT infrastructure, Bitcoin Foundation member, and certified securities S7 registered representative.
Not an S6. No.
What's S6?
I was being facetious. 7 is bigger than 6.
Financially semi-retired multi-millionaire.
Millionaire.
Whose knowledge, analysis, and prediction VC crypto disruptors reports are legendary. So this man is a multi-millionaire?
I always, I mean, what's the point of being a millionaire if you don't tell people?
Yeah, E-Man, look, I'm taking all this with a grain of salt too, right? So I'm not sure. I don't like some of the things these people have said. Don't get me wrong here, though. I don't, and I'll say this every time I bring up the Gonsalves family. I hate the fact that I feel this way about them. I hate the fact that I'm questioning them and their integrity, because I don't like feeling this way about a victim's family. But I'm reporting on what people are saying, and it's not just one person, it's not just 10 people, it's hundreds and hundreds of people who are questioning these people's integrity and what they're doing. It keeps coming up over and over and over again. There are lives, there are videos that are getting tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views that are talking about the Gonsalves family and their bad acts right now. And I can't ignore it. This is a big point of contention right now, and people are saying that they're scammers. It's not that's not my point of view. I don't know for sure. I'm not discounting it, but I'm not pushing it either. So that's why I wanted to come now back to this other person's point of view here, darling. So Bill B.
Show what? It's hard flying solo, and one must present one's best work. This does not make him a bad guy. I agree with spreading donations, but it is not our decision. It's the donor's decision. I would be crazy if my daughters or sons were slaughtered. Give the family a break.
Yeah. Okay, multi-millionaire, and he needs crowdfunding. That's an uncomfortable feeling. Yeah, I feel uncomfortable when somebody is very well-to-do and then they are looking for crowdfunding. That bothers me, right? And especially if they're kind of hiding the fact that they're very well-to-do. They're not speaking about it. It's behind the scenes. It's like behind a curtain. This whole wealth that they have, they just don't talk about it. It's just not on the table at all. But we need all this money for this thing that's out of our control, and feel very sorry for us. I don't like that, especially when there's 3 other families who may need the money more, right? I know that Xana Kernodle's family, the mother, I believe she's incarcerated, but she was struggling with addiction and she had all sorts of terrible troubles. And Ethan Chapin's family, they have a GoFundMe called, I don't know if it's a GoFundMe or not, but it's called Ethan's Smile Foundation. And they posted in the Facebook group and their comments were deleted.
Okay.
So
anyways.
Let's keep going. Alrighty. Now, I have to give a big shout out to Ted. Ted is a content creator, and he's on Twitter. I think he's on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. He creates really good short content. Don't know if he does long form stuff as well, but I wanted to play this and give him a shout out because I totally agree with everything that he puts out there. Let's have a listen.
A little loud.
But he looked at 2 separate AT&T warrant returns from December 23rd, 2022. The first AT&T record, we called it today the 48-hour AT&T record of Brian's call detail record.
Looking at what was put into the second warrant, that shows us at least parts.
Ow, turn it down.
Sorry.
Okay.
Of that analysis to include a
How's
route
that?
that was identified. To do it reliably and feel comfortable and accurate,
it's okay for me.
arguably you could spend half a day or more doing that very easily.
To do that,
Hey, Chinny.
do you just take these records, printed copy, and know what's on there, or do you have to do something with those records?
You have to use some type of a mapping platform software.
Where did you get that map?
Same thing. It was just created using open source satellite imagery and I think it was PowerPoint.
And you would take the digital copy, which is typically a text file, you would import it into that program, which would then map everything.
So you did this on some open source mapping, not anything from Nick Balance creating a visual for you.
But if I'm going to use those results, search warrant affidavit, for example, there's a process that I'm going to go through to confirm the accuracy. Because in theory, if I'm wrong, the entire linchpin of that case is now hinged on this affidavit that I wrote.
Same thing. It was just created using open source satellite imagery and I think it was PowerPoint.
So before I commit to swearing out to an affidavit, hey, this is what the phone is doing, X, Y, and Z, there's a further process of just mapping it to validate it.
Created using open source satellite imagery and I think it was PowerPoint.
Okay, so if you haven't been following this case, I'm just going to let you know that this man here, Cy Ray, he is the defense's expert on cell data, and he's not just the defense's expert, he is the preeminent expert in the US on cell tower data, phone mapping. He wrote the software and he trains government agents on how to create those maps that you see when you watch trials. In fact, if you watch, say, the Karen Reed trial and you saw those maps of the phone pings where all the phones went, there was a logo there that said TRAX tracks. He wrote that software. He knows what he is talking about. He is testifying for the very first time for the defense in the Brian Kohberger case.
Pro bono.
And pro bono, yes. And he's saying right here that if some information is provided by the state and it's information that should be provided by the state, it's been requested many times, and it refutes what he has been shown, then he reserves his right to change his testimony. But what he sees right now, his affidavit is written and it is the linchpin, what's he say? Because if I'm wrong, the entire linchpin of the case is now hinged on the affidavit that I wrote. The affidavit that he wrote shows that Brian Kohberger was somewhere else, well, his phone at least, was somewhere else at the time of the crime. It's extremely important. Now, this other person, he is a state detective, and he made his map with PowerPoint.
Righteous.
Yeah. So this is what we have to deal with. Someone from the state making a pretty garbage map with PowerPoint, and someone from the defense who is checking that, and he is the expert who wrote the software, and he's making his own map and going, hang on, no, I have double checked that, and Brian Kohberger's phone was 40 miles to the west at that time. Provide me some more info, please, to show me that I'm wrong. Where is it? Thank you, Ted, for that little mashup there, which shows that more clearly. Follow Ted, please, on X. He's great. Now, the ripple impact. Coming back to the ripple impact. Now, here's Gigi, or Jen, who really thinks that this is all just a bit of garbage. And here she is using the ripple impact. She hasn't spelled it quite right. And she is tying in the Brian Kohberger case with the Delphi case or the Richard Allen case, which is interesting because we're about to segue.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Gigi. Just asking, where was Brian Kohberger on the 13th of February 2017? Anyone know? How old would he have been then? He's 28 now.
So, what, 21?
Right. Okay. So Gigi's wondering whether or not he could have been at 21 over on a bridge in Indiana.
Makes sense.
Basically. Okay. So and we're the ones who are crazy. Okay. Yeah. So the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German, that was on February 13th, 2017. And then on October 26, 2022, multiple suspects were interviewed in the years following the murders, with police keeping many details about the murders and the investigation under tight wraps. Police arrested then 50-year-old Richard M. Allen on October 26th, 2022. Okay. How this person's putting these things together is really not adding up to me at all. And then she continues. Hair, animal hair, a hug from family before leaving. The thread will be added to Liberty German, Abigail Williams, the ripple impact. Continued. Okay, we're going somewhere with this, guys. Just stick with me. Profiling evil, discussing the Delphi, Indiana case. Mike, this is fantastic. Any idea where Brian Koberger was on February 13th, 2019?
How about September 11th?
Yeah.
Maybe he was responsible.
Maybe. And then she's gone and referenced Andrea Burkett. Hi, Andrea out there. You were doing amazing work. We're going to get to this. So, what are your thoughts on the hairs in AW's hand and not belonging to Rick's? And Andrea's gone, wild news. Very interesting in hearing more. Yeah, right? What a jump, half Irish, right? What a jump. This is just so stupid. I don't see the connection either, but this person's trying to make a connection. Yeah. Okay. And note how my graphics are getting even more weird, right? At this point. Oh, sorry about the wing.
Oh, yeah.
It's supposed to be oil boiling.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh! And then there's the judge. This leads us to the realm of... Hang on, the realm of... Oh, where's the tea coming in? We'll get there eventually. The tea's not coming in.
Not with that
Oh, yeah.
attitude.
Girls rules.
What a charming woman.
Trigger warning. Right. I have made the first one of my videos about Girl, and that was just about the fact that I think she's not human. I've got more coming. I have more coming. Okay, so for those of you who are not aware, this is Judge Girl. Judge Girl may be the worst judge in the history of the United States. Maybe the world. Maybe the world. If we're talking about ripple impact,
Yeah.
if we're talking about conspiracies, if we're talking about things going really badly wrong, Judge Gull has to be the epitome of evil. Right? This woman has done just about everything possible to stop people from reporting on the trial of Richard Allen, to stop people from seeing the atrocities that have happened to this man. And yeah, if you were to compare the egregiousness of what's happened to Richard Allen in comparison to, say, Brian Koberger, Richard Allen would be probably about 100 times worse than Brian Koberger. But that said, we don't really know what's happened to Brian Koberger either. He looks healthy, at least,
Yeah.
Brian Koberger. I think both of them are the wrong guy, but neither of them, we don't know. Both of them could be the right guy, but it doesn't really matter because the state has done a terrible job with both of those two cases. At least in Idaho, we have so far fairly decent judges who haven't tried to overrule everything that the defense has done. A lot of it's been under seal, though, in Idaho. In Indiana, we have this woman who has allowed the defendant to sit in maximum security prison for how long? A year? Was it a year?
Couple years, I think.
Not sure. But he sat in maximum security prison, starving, being tortured by guards, and also on this antipsychotic medication, which under the influence of this, he made confessions that not only did he confess to the crimes, but he confessed to also killing people that didn't even exist.
Or the crimes in ways that didn't happen.
Yeah, crimes in ways that didn't happen. Killing his grandchildren, he doesn't even have grandchildren.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. He was in solitary. Yeah. This is ridiculous, right? This woman should not be an officer of the court in any way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Yeah. So on the subject of bad judges, word is Arnie Bev will be gone on January 1st. What, of her own doing, or?
I'm not. I've heard that. I don't know the details of it yet.
Yeah, very interesting. And what's Old Line Red got to say? I always like to hear what Old Line Red has to say on these matters. I missed your comment, Old Line. Where is it? Maybe if Dali could find it. That would be great. Okay, so moving on. Sleuthy. She threw Ali Motta out of the media evidence view because she's not a credentialed media. Yeah, okay. So this is her latest excuse. Gull is she's decided that you have to be credentialed media in order to see certain things like the evidence viewing. Pretty soon she'll decide that even credentialed media can't see things, but that's her latest thing. So when Andrea Burkhardt has, I believe, put in a request to become credentialed media. I mean, she's got 90,000 people subscribed to her channel. Her views are extremely high, so she can at least try. But yeah, that's her latest reason for stopping certain people from seeing some evidence. Goodness me. All right, so Sleuthy Goosey, I have to say, big shout out to Sleuthy Goosey. What Sleuthy has done is she's gone through Andrea's notes, and I'm sorry to put it on you, but if you are able to grab the links for, say, Andrea, Sleuthy, if you can, even her Twitter, the people I'm chatting about at the moment, no hurry, but if you can find their links, that would be awesome. These people deserve shout outs. Posting a picture instead of retweeting, as I suspect this may disappear again at some point. There was hair found in Abby's hand and it does not match Richard Allen. See how we segue from that lady, I'm not going to call her any names, but that lady who was talking about the ripple impact. She was talking about hair and whether or not this hair was of some sort of connection, which it's not, but this hair, could it be cat hair or from a hug or something like that? Well, maybe, but it's not Richard Allen's hair, right? So there was hair found in Abby's hand and it does not match Richard Allen. All right, so let's have a read of this, Dali. Would you mind?
Yes. Richard Allen's defense attorneys say hair found in Abby Williams' hand does not match Richard Allen's DNA. That has never been made public before, but during our interview with the sheriff days after the murder, he told me and Ray Cortopassi on live TV they had DNA. Law enforcement then asked us to remove that information from our website, saying the sheriff was speaking without full knowledge. This was 2,117 days after the murder.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Whitney Burns said, if the hair is that important, why wouldn't the defense use it and then multiple motions to dismiss? Why are they just bringing it up? Aha! Good question.
Yeah.
Well, Sleuthy says, because maybe they have just now become aware of it. Well, what do we call that, guys? Law nerds in chat. What do we call that?
It's a slight Brady issue.
Yeah, Brady, hello. So, well, if that's not Brady as fuck, then I don't know. Definition of exculpatory. At least the state handed that info over. Maybe they kind of had to. Maybe that was going to get found out at some point. So, it's a little bit late, guys. If that just got handed over, that's a bit late. Right, that's a bit late. We may be looking at a Baldwin moment. However, can you imagine this judge dismissing with prejudice?
No.
Like in the Baldwin case? No. Negative. Like not in a million years. Okay. Now also, Sleuthy, what she's done is she's gone through Andrea's live streams. So what Andrea does is she goes and sits in the court all day long. She's traveled across the country, given up weeks and weeks of her life to go and sit in the court and take notes, pen and paper, because you can't take in your phone or anything like that. And then at night time, she goes and sits in her hotel room and she does live streams so we can all listen to what she has experienced that day. So what Sleuthy Goosey has done is she's gone and written down those notes and put them into Google Docs for us. Thank you, Sleuthy Goosey. So, based entirely on A. Burkhart's notes, as they've been the most detailed since this trial started, I can no longer bring myself to follow mainstream media article to article, because yesterday the same fact was stated 3 different ways. Sorry. Delphi trial, Richard Allen trial. Here are opening statements by both sides on October 18, 2024. Now, she's given the Google Drive links for everybody to just go and grab, which is awesome. Thank you for that. Now, what I wanted to do was just pull out this little piece here for us to have a look at, because it pertains to the hair that back a moment ago we were talking about, from that lady who was trying to tie it back to the Brian Koberger case. Would you like to read this little part here?
Yeah. And check private. As of 2 days ago, law enforcement is scrambling because there is a hair in Abby's hand. It was wrapped around her fingers and had a root. DNA was extracted from it. The analysis testified that the hair might be from a relative of Libby. It is not Libby's hair. It is not Abby's hair. It is female. They still need to complete testing. They will test mom, grandmom, sister, somebody like that, to be able to tell if it's the family of Libby or someone else.
Okay. It was wrapped around her fingers and it had a root. That's important.
Yeah.
Right? That's not from like a hug. It's not pet hair or something like that. That's not normal. Like, if it's wrapped around her fingers and it's got a root to it, that's like
Yeah.
that shows me that it's
Defensive.
like from that's from a struggle, right? And it means that you can also get proper DNA from that because it's got a root,
Yeah.
right?
In theory,
Yeah.
yeah.
Female, yeah. That's just big. Check your privates. Don't say that. Oh, hey, Ken's counseling coach. Good to have you. Also, Ari's confession and stuff in solitary sounds like psychosis from the meds. Yeah, he was on something called Haldol. Sometimes antipsychotics can cause psychosis, like antidepressants can sometimes cause suicidal thoughts. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like this opposite effect, isn't it? Right? So it's kind of like with people who take like Ritalin. Like Ritalin is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's a stimulant. But if you are overstimulated, it relaxes you. Like it brings down your stimulation levels. But if you are not overstimulated, then it will stimulate you. It's this opposite kind of effect. Got something for me. Right. Okay. This is simply presented, yet so much more informative than the shite put out by MSM. That's mainstream media. Thanks. So yeah, big thanks to Sleuthy and of course to Andrea for giving up her time and doing such an amazing job. All right. Andrea, there she is. She says, I had a great talk with Anjanette this morning about the jury selection process and the new information Andrew Baldwin revealed about the hair found in Abby's hand that does not belong to Richard Allen. By the way, Andrew Baldwin is one of the defense counsel. He's not another Baldwin brother. All right, let's watch this.
The jury is seated in Richard Allen's
It's around here. Thought it would go straight to it, but it didn't.
Circumstances, any testing, it was subjected to that had not previously been out there in public. So it has the potential to be very significant in this case, as the details about exactly what this evidence is, how it was discovered, the circumstances, any testing it was subjected to, and so forth, as those details emerge in the course of the trial, because the circumstances they have the potential to tell a story about how this crime was committed and potentially who was involved and how it unfolded. So as a piece of new information, it is quite significant and does, in my view, have the potential to really change people's thought processes about the strength of the evidence in this case.
and we'll
There you go. So, I mean, that's just in opening statements, right? So that's day one.
Yeah.
There's something brand new that it's on her body, and it's not just a thing. Like, it's not just a transient object that has potentially, like, nothing to do with the crime. It's wrapped around her finger, right? And there's a root. So it feels like it's actually to do with the crime. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And especially if the defense didn't know about it, I find that really worrying. Okay, let's keep going. So, Fian X says,
Looking at the courthouse is now illegal. Jay Conline won't tweet out their own article, but I will. Cameras of journalists outside the courthouse were confiscated shortly after jurors arrived Friday morning. When Gannett, photographer Alex Martin, saw two vans approach the shrouded fence on the west side of the courthouse, he put his camera on his hip and set the second camera on the ground. Special Judge Francis Gould made it clear during Thursday's media orientation that photographs or videos of the jurors was forbidden, and Martin obliged. After the jurors were unloaded, law enforcement came out from the shrouded fence like a grassy knoll and confiscated
Wow.
cameras.
What? 90 Sneaks fan said, these are the folks who were subsequently banned. Are they not permitted to have their camera on their hip or on the ground outside for purposes of non-gull rules reporting? What country is this trial in? What is going on? You can't. Cameras of journalists outside the courthouse were confiscated shortly after jurors arrived Friday morning. Okay, so let's just be clear here. Jurors like usually they can walk to and fro and stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's not like you can't ever see them,
No.
right?
They're sequestered. I mean, for bigger trials, they usually meet at a separate location and then are bussed in.
Yeah.
I mean, you had an issue like this in Rittenhouse. Well, except that actually happened in Rittenhouse.
Right. Having your camera actually confiscated?
Well, I think she just
This-
confiscated the memory card, but yeah.
This woman's out of her mind. Sorry. Like, and I'm all the way over here. I'm not scared of her.
Yeah. I love you. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'll survive. I'll survive, Gull. Okay. Oh, right, there's some more comments here. This was outside. They weren't taking pictures of the jury. Juries aren't supposed to be secret anyway. You can walk right in, usually, and see them in person during a trial. Yeah, that's true. The public has to be assured they are a jury of peers, a fair jury. This was professionals. And then Holly said, you want to be Holly?
Like, well, that explains the need for the fans. It's so law enforcement can hide without wearing ghillie suits. Journalists, it might be time for, like, legal action.
Oh, yeah. It was reported that Gull was late, and when she arrived,
pregnant?
announced that she had confiscated the cameras from 4 journalists, wiped their memory cards, and banned them from the trial. Whoa, I can't even imagine. Citizens need to go and take some pictures of the jurors, not to post.
I wouldn't go that far. But
I wouldn't do that, no.
we now live in a communist country. When are people going to realize that?
What is this voice?
I was trying to do my Russian voice, but I didn't get it that time.
It's a little bit Get Smart, but it's kind of, yeah, not quite there.
Nah, I'm working on it. I'll watch Hunt for the Red October again.
Okay.
Ghoul is on a power trip for the ages. Simply being in the vicinity of the courthouse gives her the power to suspend the First Amendment.
It feels like that. It does feel like that. Candace says, not true what the comment said. Jurors are not to be photographed because there are defendants who go after them. Defendants? I get that jurors can feel like they're
Yeah, at risk.
they're at risk. I do get that part. But is it going a little bit far to take, not just to take their cameras and wipe their memory cards, but then to ban them from the
Yeah.
rest of the trial? To ban them?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Yeah. Like, what's going on there? Yeah. Is it Spectre Gadget? Okay, like, sure, but to take their camera, wipe their memory card, and then ban them? Like, you're banned. No soup for you.
Yeah.
What is with that? Okay, and Phil. Hey Phil, how are you? Interesting AV issue in the Richard Allen trial. No media allowed. A Burkett Law, Andrea, recounts how a public attendee within the courtroom could not hear witness testimony. Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Cross-examination was interrupted by somebody in the audience back in the back row on the far side. Stood up out of her seat with her hand up and was standing there for a few minutes. Judge Gohl eventually saw her, told her to sit down. The woman said the microphone is not pointed towards the witness, and Judge Gohl said, "You need to sit down, ma'am." Said this twice. She wasn't having it, didn't want to hear from the woman in the audience. It doesn't matter typically if the microphone is not pointed towards the witness. I think the person in the audience might have thought that these microphones would amplify, and because we did have difficulty hearing, that was part of the problem, but it's not. These are not amplifying microphones. They're just for the audio recording system, for the audio recordings that we're not getting to hear. The court records that's being produced as the record of this process that we're not getting to hear.
Okay, clearly the woman in the audience hadn't been there for the rest of the trial, because that was very brave of her.
Yeah.
It's like she got up to speak and then she was like, "You need to sit down, man.
Yeah. Yikes.
You need to sit down." My God. Imagine like everybody else there is like knows what she's like, what girls
yeah.
like, and they're like,
Sit down. Sit the fuck
"Sit down or we'll all pay." We are all going to pay the price for your stupidity. We're not going to get any water breaks or any lunch breaks for the next 3 days.
Well, they already don't get water breaks
Yeah, it's true.
or lunch breaks. Yeah, seriously, the 20 people that get in to view the court have to go line up when there's a lunch break,
Yeah.
to come back in, because their spots could be taken by somebody else.
Yeah, and there's one water fountain.
Yeah,
And they have to go and like fill up the little tiny paper cups.
because they aren't allowed water in the courtroom.
No water. You can't bring water in. No water. Because like Judge Gull lives on light
Yeah.
or dark. I'm not quite sure.
Well,
And
she's
the
like
sap
the
of local
wicked
trees.
witch of the West, and
Yeah.
water's poisonous to her.
Indeed.
Guys, they know. They know she hates us and doesn't want us there.
It's true. She lives on human blood. That's right. I like that meme. I do what I want. I love this quote from Andrea. Let's watch it again.
Guys, they know. They know she hates us and doesn't want us there.
Yeah, they know. They know she hates us and doesn't want us there. Yeah. All right. Check, please. Is that normal? Like you see a dead person, and then you go, "Check, please." I only saw our chat. I haven't watched
Nobody else
anybody
noticed
else's. I saw Sean's for a bit, but I wasn't there for this part.
He didn't.
Did anyone else pick up on the fact that in the opening statements, the prosecutor said that when Brian Boone went to the apartment, he saw the dead body and went, "Check, please." What the hell? What's that all about? Okay. Check, please. Yeah. Yeah. What is that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's Boone time, everybody. It's Boone time. It's Boone time. It's Boone time. Yeah.
Not intentional.
Yeah. Alrighty. Adrian F says,
This is 100% what she was chatting about.
okay, so this, hang on, I'll just play it from the beginning. Whoop, no, not that. I know, give me a break. Alright, there's no sound in this, just watch it. Okay, so she's chitty-chatting to Billy Lane. Are we raising another motion for my snacks? Talking. And then, I'm waiting to hear about my snacks, sorry. Yeah, oh no, over there. No, yeah, waiting. If I get my snacks, I'll give you a cookie, deal? Honestly, I don't think we made one snack joke the entire time.
I think I did one. That was it.
Maybe. That was kind of cute, though. That was kind of cute. All right. So you just saw Pee Wee Herman going, "Yay! It's spoon time." Why couldn't Sarah say it was an accident? Why elaborate and beat around the bushes and state, quote, unintentional? Well, unintentional kind of means an accident, I guess.
It was still, kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh, look who's here.
Just in
Fancy
time.
meeting you here right now, beautiful waterfall. Just imagine. No quiz today. No quiz today. Sarah needs a snack tray. I know. I just can't believe, just like the whole thing with the makeup and that, it becomes such a big deal.
Hey, she did get her makeup.
Yeah, she didn't get a makeup either. Oh, she did get a makeup, didn't she?
Yeah, she's been wearing it.
Yeah.
I know, she's been looking good.
She looks astounding. All right, do you want
Has
to
a
read
glow.
these? Yeah, she does.
Did she draw a picture of a pumpkin hanging when she turns that paper over? Looks like she's been coloring. She was writing down questions for her lawyer to ask on cross. My bad. Come on, man. I'm hungry. I've been up all day and all night. And don't bring out that suitcase. I swear to God, if you bring out that suitcase, Aw, fucking A, right?
Fucking A, right?
The guy said, girl, did you not brush your teeth again?
The guy was Billy Lane.
Yeah. Like, she looks like she's flirting with him. Grody.
Probably. I actually believe that.
I'm surprised Owens didn't make a motion like for a toaster on council table so she can toast the Pop-Tarts. Haven't had a Pop-Tart in 35 years, but I ate one yesterday. Sarah didn't. You don't know that. Her arrogance is comical. Maybe she got one in commissary. You don't know.
Maybe she did get one in commissary. You don't know that. I just I don't get the arrogance thing. Like, I don't see her being arrogant. I don't get why people think she's arrogant. Like, I can see that they think she's a murderer and all that kind of thing. I get that. It's just the arrogance part. I don't see it. Why do people think that? Show me where she's being arrogant. I don't get it. I don't know. I just don't see it. Alright. Yes, J-Rock. No rig game today. No rig game ever, J-Rock. Where's your chat? Can't see it. No rig game ever, J-Rock. Sorry. Alright.
Only she donated the suitcase a day sooner.
Okay. This, I see.
What is inside of States A?
This is the suitcase I collected.
Apparently she's laughing
It
here.
does it appear to be in the same or substantially the same condition as the time that you collected it and placed it into evidence?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time I'd like
Do
to
you think
move
this
with the
was
mark for identification
disrespectful?
as States A
No.
into evidence.
Wonder what he's saying.
Any
now.
objections?
Okay, there was a laugh
No
there.
objection.
Right, do you see that?
Yeah, he was a manlet.
He was definitely a manlet. Hang on. So, hang on, let me just go back one. Go forward. Alright, so let's watch that again. So... Okay, so people are saying that here Okay, so they're this happens while the forensic biologist is opening the box containing the suitcase. Okay, so she's not paying attention. They're having a discussion. And instead of showing respect, they talk throughout the process.
State's A?
This is
And
the
then
suitcase I collected
they're
from
having
the living room.
a
And does
discussion,
it
and
appear to
she
be in the same or
laughs
substantially the same condition as the
at
time
whatever
that you
her lawyer
collected
is
it and
saying
placed
to
it into
her.
evidence?
Yes.
Your
Do
Honor,
you
time I'd
think
like
this
to
was
move what's been marked right
disrespectful? Okay.
I'm sure chat won't.
Where is this from? Oh, it's just some YouTube channel full of wine mums. It's all right, but they're not the only ones. Like there was a few other tweets and like screenshots of her having like just from the side smiling whilst the suitcase was being brought out. So yeah,
Fond memories.
yeah. There's a whole video out there. Someone thought he was being a big Sherlock Holmes, Sarah faking the CPR, like we didn't know that. Yeah. You refuse to see her arrogant nature because you're under her witch's spell, Hella. Of all the things she does that's annoying, I can see lots of annoying things she does, but arrogant isn't really top of the list.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Dolly, what do you think?
No, I don't think she's being arrogant. I think she's stunted emotionally and doesn't understand normal human behavior.
Yeah, she's a bit socially unaware.
She really relied on her ex-husband for things, and
Yeah. There is that. So yeah, she's not easy to get along with. Let's say arrogant.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's just a bit sort of hard to get along with. Yeah, that's probably more how I'd put it. But arrogant, yeah, maybe a little. Maybe a little.
Yeah.
It's just not top of my list. It's top of my list. But okay, so this whole thing with the laughing, you can't, as a defendant, you just can't do anything right in court. There's just nothing you can do. And one of the first, like the top things you can't do ever is smile and laugh. You just can't. You just can't. At any time whatsoever. That if you get caught on camera laughing and smiling, people are going to do this to you. As simple as that. And unfortunately, it's when the suitcase came out. And so the thing she should have been doing would be sitting there going, like that, really. That's all she could have done. And this whole thing about her controlling the lawyers, she has a right to be involved in her defense.
Yeah.
Right? So she's allowed to talk to her lawyers. She's allowed to answer their questions, ask them questions, etc. People are saying, oh, she's controlling them. And that's based probably on what they have seen of her, like writing letters and stuff in the past. Whatever. But again, she can't really do anything right.
Yeah.
There's just nothing she can do to please people. It's as simple as that. They hate her. So, and then they watch her and they see her drawing and writing and things like that. Oh, is she doodling? Lawyers in chat, if there are any, tell me, do you tell your defendants to write? Or, because I see that so often with defendants.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, because there's nothing else you can really do to distract yourself that doesn't look bad. Like, it's one of the least bad things you can do. Like, it doesn't look like you are, you're not laughing, you're not crying. It looks like you are, like, paying attention to something other than, like, the victims. You're not, like, eyeballing people. So, I mean, they can make fun of her colouring in or whatever it is, or acting like she's a lawyer, but it's better than, like, making faces at people. it's a distraction. It keeps you from reacting to things. It's good. Yeah, agreed. Hella, she is making posters for her prison cell wall. She does like art, she says. So yeah. And maybe she'll be the next Jodie Arias.
That could be.
Maybe.
I'd love to get a boon.
Yeah. As jurors, they will examine Sarah's face. And that's actually another really good point, Candace. And it's not just out here, the people who will judge her for laughing at that point. Even if she's completely justified in her mind and in the lawyer's mind, they are having a discussion that's probably important to them. But the jurors are probably like, hey, what are you doing not paying attention?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Darlie, do you want to read those out?
This part made me sick. Knowing the suitcase where he died was in that box was one of those moments where you don't want to look and you feel all the fee-fees. I don't even understand why. That's morbidly twisted. She is one sick puppy. Owen's been being disrespectful. He keeps getting in the prosecutor's personal space. I swear I even saw him touch him in his no-no zone. He and the other old lawyer even stood behind the prosecutor while he was taking his turn.
What?
I added that.
You're just making sure I'm paying attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was wondering why you would. He and the other old lawyer even stood behind the prosecutor while he was taking his turn with the microphone and made faces. I know it's Owen's big plan to become a guy on court TV, but him swinging his arms and talking over the prosecutor and judge, I would tell that fool to back up or it's gonna be a problem TF. You go, sister.
A problem, TF. Does he swing his arms? I haven't noticed this. Has anyone noticed Owen swinging his arms?
I've not noticed, but okay.
No. Sad for Emily. I've got to show you guys. There is this thing in Australia. We have this movie that's like really iconic. And we don't say suffer. We say suffer in your jocks.
Huh.
You heard this?
No.
No. Suffer in your jocks, mate. So not just suffer. Suffer in your jocks. Like in your underpants.
Huh.
I'll show it to you one day. It's pretty good. Yeah. Anyway. Sarah Boone did not do CPR on George. I love Mr. Bean. That woman is ridiculous. I do believe they both abused each other, but only George is dead. The fact she won't apologize to his family drives me insane. About laughing. She would laugh. We should laugh about Sarah. It is a narcissist's worst fear. Be ridiculed. So I will always make fun of her. Kiss.
Okay.
Your turn.
Years was the first post I saw this morning while drinking my coffee. Yes, I about choked. Her waving and chatting it up to whoever it is in the gallery is annoying. She acts like she's running for prom queen.
Look, I like the Mr. Bean gif. It's just these people. It's so mean girl. Like all these comments are so mean girl.
Yeah.
And this is why I run this channel the way I run it, because this is not the kind of chat that like makes me happy. I love our chat. I love you guys chat. I love you guys chat. Seriously.
Yeah.
This is just not the kind of chat I hang out in. Oh, now we missed this. This was in the arguments, right? Because we skipped straight to opening statements. So I've gone back and had a look. We might, if we have time during the week, we might have a look at this. So, you want to read it?
Oh, sure. Looks like Goofy Owens made up 4 to 5 giant posters and about 4 shorter ones. No dates that I can see.
Okay, so look, there's Sarah, and it looks like that there are documented photos of her injuries. Isn't this interesting? So, suddenly, we have evidence of Sarah's injuries, and everybody's very, very quick to call them out as being fake.
Okay.
Very quick to call them out as being fake. Not a second to look at them and even consider for a moment that perhaps they could be real, right? Or perhaps George, Mr. Saint George, could possibly be an abuser, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we know he's small. We know that there's been reports that they both abuse one another. But of course, this must be doctored. This must be photoshopped. It can't be real because everyone hates Sarah. Sarah's the reason for all of this. She is the, what do you call it, the blue-eyed white devil or something. So I want to read those comments there.
Sure. Wonder if this is from the incident where she strangled him while on the stairs and he kicked out at her to escape. This is my first guess. I put up the narrative earlier. Owens is so obvious he cracks me up. Like that black eye looks fake to me. It is quite unusual. We'll see if there is a medical report Owens mentioned they will bring in. But he never said this on this specific photo. Like, this Owens guy, Grody, he is as slimy as SB. The judge understands them both.
Okay, so what about this situation makes Owens slimy? Is what I'd like to know, right?
Yeah.
So what about him getting those photos from her phone, blowing them up so the jury can see them properly, and showing her side of the story makes him slimy? No, absolutely not. She deserves to have her side of the story shown. Now, when it comes down to it, she probably does fulfill the criteria of second-degree murder, sure, right? But the jury needs to make their own mind up and see everything properly. And that does not make him slimy. That makes him a good defense lawyer.
Yeah.
I can't abide this kind of stuff. It's just people having a go at the lawyer because he's doing his job. It pisses me off. Sorry. Really pisses me off. I don't think they are fake, but I think they were a few years before, possibly. I think they abused each other because of the alcohol abuse. And fair, Rachel. And he will have to show what dates they are. You can't just put photos into evidence and not put dates with them, especially like digital photos have metadata with them. So he won't be able to just go, oh, here's some photos and just throw them in there. There'll have to be some foundation laid with them. So yeah, he'll have to say when they're from and put them in some sort of storyline context. So, and I'm sure that the experts will weigh in on that as well. So the jury will make up their mind as to whether they're relevant and to what degree. But this is why it's so important she has defense counsel. She wouldn't even know how to put that into evidence. She doesn't understand the rules of evidence. So it's very important. Yeah, absolutely nothing's wrong with it. Yeah, it's his job. Yeah. J-Rock, you know what? You're here to piss me off. I love you though. Thanks for being here, and thank you for the subs yesterday. You know what? I know you're needling me. You are a defense lawyer, dude. You are. And I know you appreciate what this dude's doing. I know it. J-Rock. I'm calling you out in front of everybody because you are needling me. Oh dear. West Coast Mesh Fighter says, do you want to read it?
Sarah Boone trial gives me AH vibes, entitled liar, and believes she will be acquitted. Amber Heard vibes, be acquitted, okay. Laughing when the suitcase was being presented to the jury. Schnacks? She is a criminal defendant and Judge Craydick is watching. Pick worth 1,000 words.
See, J-Rock. And then West Coast Mesh says, I don't care what prior acts happened. What she did to George Torres was vengeances, plain and simple. This case has turned into a shit show because of Sarah, her letters, her ad for something light. No case law for what she did. He wasn't a threat in a bag. Could have left. Justice for George Torres Jr. And there's a picture of him, manlet rapper. Yes. Okay. He looks very nice there. A threat in a bag. I'm going to use that. Hashtag threat in a bag. Oh, he was a little gangster. Sorry. It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it. It's true. David's not in chat today, so someone's got to harass me. Oh man. All right, that's it. See you tomorrow for Burn Day 2. Burn Day 2. We're on, baby. We are on. Fast and break free from 6 p.m. Eastern. Special guest appearances by guest lawyer David from Making Law Simple. He was fantastic yesterday, wasn't he? It was so great to have him.
Yes.
He was awesome. Love having him around. And you know what? He came back and watched the rest of it afterwards and put notes in my comments about all of the witnesses. He was cool. Also, I'm hoping this week to have a couple of other guests. Made mates yesterday with Mr. Ron Coleman. He's pretty cool. So he was playing Lego with David yesterday, and he said he was a bit of a stream whore, and he's happy to come stream whore over here sometime.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, he's pretty cool. So I'm hoping to have him on. Mr. Brunker, well, he wants someone to break down the case for him, so I'm hoping to do that at some point and have him over. So yeah, open invite to lots of people, and maybe even Kat. Keep saying Kat is welcome over, but the thing is, you know what? She streams all day, so we'll see. Nick Starr has an open invite. Steve Gosney has an open invite. Lots of people. So it's party town over here in Boonville. And of course, we've got our games on. So tell your friends, bring people round. I don't mind having people who think differently to us as well. All kinds of people are welcome. We're happy. We're happy to have lots of different points of view. But yeah, we have lots of fun here. Darlie, are you going to stream after this?
No, not today. If I stream tomorrow, I might do a Boone preview for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or more Wade. Probably a Boone preview at 5 p.m. Eastern.
That'll be way cool. J-Rock, you're being nice now. Well, great show, Hella. Another win for the toe. What's the toe? Oh,
Steel
you
toe.
mean Yeah, I have to go and have a look at the court reporter's feet and see whether or not she was barefoot.
What?
I will go and work that out, and I'll tweet about it. Actually, no, you're not allowed on Twitter because Elon banned you. That's right. That's right. What channel is everyone watching tomorrow if you're watching the live trial? I tell you what, beautiful waterfall, if I were you, I would watch it sans chat and sans commentary. Like, that's what I do when everyone's pissing me off. I just go watch it on Law and Crime. Like, that's what I was doing with Melody Farris, or whatever her name is. Melody Farris Walker, or whatever. Yeah, the one that's on currently. I really like that trial, but I just don't like any of the chats that are running it. So, yeah, if I want to watch something and I'm not into whoever's streaming it, I just run it without any commentary. It's really easy. So you usually do, because I do work, but I listen in the background. Yeah, occasionally like to chat. Yeah, fair enough. But up to you.
Yeah.
Aaron, I know who you're talking about.
Meme always says another win for the toe.
Yeah, all right. Melody's back tomorrow. I love that trial. That is a great trial. It's a shame it's happening at exactly the same time, and I knew it was going to go. I knew it was going to happen at exactly the same time, which is annoying. Because it was going to go for a few weeks always. And I even begged Sean to run it because I thought it would be so perfect for Sean. But he was busy when it all started. But you never know. He may run it like after everything's finished.
Yeah.
Because it's so perfect for him. Like, he would be great. It would be great for him to run that one. Okay, anyway, just before I finish up, let me just check something. Nothing much happening. All right then, cool. Okay, you'll probably watch Melody. You watch Melody live and catch people doing replays of Boona. People? You mean
Ruh-roh.
These people? Justin. Alrighty. Okay, next. We do this every week.
Yes.
Every Sunday. Every Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, except next Sunday. Because I'm going to be away at a K-pop concert.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I know. But thanks for being here for this one. Become a member and join our Salacious Outrageous Discord community. If you are not a member, make sure you become one. Or you could always stick around in our chat throughout the week, because there's raining gifts at the moment. It's raining gifts. And if you are a member, make sure that you click on the membership tab and go to the perks, and you'll see a link to the Discord community. Become a part of it. You get really great notifications, not the crappy YouTube ones, and you get to be part of the party.
Yes.
Awesome. And that's about it. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I love it. I love it. And it's time for the song.
Her name was Ella. She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. Her co-host is Dolly and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud, and because she's an 803. To the attention, excited utterance. Her cat is staring through it.